And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Lyndhurst Community News. Today is Wednesday, June 19th. Kids are going to be out of school on Friday. And today is episode 60. I'd like to welcome you all, and I hope everybody is doing well and having a wonderful week. The heat is finally here after having several weeks of beautiful, cool, dry weather. Great for night sleeping, leaving the windows open. It was inevitable that the heat would get here. After all, it is June, and we're heading into July, and time to put on the air conditioning. And I always say there's not much of a difference between the dead of winter and the dead of summer, because in the winter you stay inside with the heat on, and in the summer you stay inside with the air conditioning on. And I know I've spoken to so many people, as we get older, it's the humidity. I just can't handle the humidity. I don't sit outside at all in the summertime. Maybe at night if it's cool, but I don't do it anymore. I just can't do it. I don't know. It's what happens with age. But anyway, so tomorrow night, Thursday evening, the Lyndhurst High School class of 2024 will be graduating. So we'd like to congratulate all of our graduates in town as they will continue on to their various endeavors, some with college, some with trade school, others with other plans. But either way, best wishes and congratulations to all of the graduates. And that's going to be tomorrow night. And of course, Friday is the last day of school for the remaining portions of the Lyndhurst School District. So summer is here, vacations begin, and let's see what the summer will be bringing us. And as traditional, to kick off the summer, of course, we have our Independence Day fireworks celebration, and that's going to be held this year on Tuesday, July 2nd, and that's going to be behind the Little League fields on Riverside Avenue. This is handled by the Parks Department under the Commissioner John Montillo, and of course, as always, there will be food trucks, novelty vendors, and a DJ there for your entertainment, which will start at 6 p.m., and, of course, patriotic exercises will start at 8:30 with the gala fireworks display coming right around dusk. Now, by the way, here's something new this year. The Elks, who are across the street from the Little League fields, have put out a little notice saying that if anybody would like to park in their parking lot and get priority parking, you can do so for a $10 donation to the Elks. So, if you're looking for a place to park where you maybe have a bunch of kids, strollers, and things of that sort, if you don't want to walk far, come on to the Elks parking lot. I believe there will be somebody there collecting the money when you come in, and $10 will get you a nice private parking spot. Maybe you could even watch the fireworks from there. You may not even have to go over across the Little League field. After all, you'll be right there. But either way, just so you know, that opportunity exists for those of you who you may even have some elderly family members who can't walk far, and so you may drop them off and then go to look for a parking spot. So there should be a good amount of parking in the Elks parking lot. So if you want to park there for the festivities, park there for $10. And again, that's a donation to the Elks. And with summer coming, that's also another reminder that the Lyndhurst Library's summer reading program for 2024 begins on June 24th. And lasts till August 21st. Now, registration has already begun as of June 10th. And so if you want to register for your child, call 201-804-2478, extension 3. And there will be crafts and prizes and special events. So the more you read, the more prizes your child will earn. And, of course, the biggest thing to happen in Lyndhurst every summer is our annual Music Under the Stars, accompanied with the Mount Carmel Feast right there in the Township Park and Delafield Avenue from July 10th to July 13th. So that's Wednesday through Saturday. I went through the lineup of who's playing on last week's episode, so if you didn't catch that, go back and listen to that. But I always tell you, make sure you bring all of your family out. If you have grandparents, children, because it's like for 4 days, it's as if the New Jersey Shore Boardwalk comes to Lyndhurst. Families from all over, people from all over come back to Lyndhurst to enjoy 4 days of camaraderie and friendship, music, and food. And don't forget, there's a Super 50-50. There's a 50-50 every night for Mount Carmel for the feast. But then there's the Grand Super 50-50. And last year it was around $29,000 went to the winner. So you have a lot of chances to win. you're helping support the church, but you're also being involved with everybody in the family and bringing out that great sense of community that Lyndhurst has always had. Now, one of the things, and I forgot again to give out our email address here, is LyndhurstCommunityNews@gmail.com. So if you have any events for your church, your school, sports, your organization, whatever it may be, birthdays, anniversaries of note, send them to us, and we're happy to share them here with everybody. Which reminds me, we have a birthday of note this week, a very important birthday of note. So I'd like you all to join with me in wishing a very happy and blessed 97th birthday to lifelong Lyndhurst resident John Garofalo. Now, I've mentioned him last year as well when he turned 96, and I know a lot of people, you know his son Ron. Ron is very active. In fact, he runs the feast for Mount Carmel, and a lot of people know him as Ronnie Garofalo because we have another family with the same spelling, and they pronounce it Garofalo in town, but the pronunciation here is Garofalo. That's the correct Italian pronunciation, and Ron's father, John, turned 97 the other day on June 15th. He is one of the oldest lifelong residents of Lyndhurst. I know there's also Mr. Nicholas Spina, who's also about the same age. In fact, they were friends. They grew up together. And, it's just, it's such a treasure when we have people at that age who can still relate the past to us, share stories with us, and allow us to learn and, in a way, travel back in time because they are bridges to our past. And the things they've seen, imagine living through World War II, being in World War II. In fact, Mr. Garofalo left Lyndhurst High School so that he can go fight the war in World War II. In fact, he never got to graduate until a few years ago, and he finally earned his high school diploma because it was more important at that time, of course, to go off and fight for your country. So we want to wish him a very blessed and happy birthday. We're so happy to have you in our township. You are a blessing to us and a wonderful, delightful man. So, Mr. Garofalo, happy birthday to you. All right, now, before I get into this last bit today, I've been giving a lot of thought into how to handle the upcoming summer in terms of news broadcasts, because as I've been saying the past several weeks, the news dies out. Other than the concert, the movies under the stars, the music under the stars, there's also movies under the stars throughout the summer, that's really all that goes on because everybody's away, everybody's on vacation, it's hot. So not much happens in the township. So I have made an executive decision, as they say, to reduce the amount of broadcasts this summer to every other week. And that's just for the summer because, once the fall comes, we're back in action. People are home. People are ready to get active again in their community. So rather than coming on here each week and not having much to offer, I'll be doing the news every other week throughout July and August. But of course, if something comes up that is newsworthy, I will absolutely report on it as soon as possible. So I just wanted to let you all know that. And I'll put out a written notice both on YouTube as well as Facebook. And I know that, people follow us on several different platforms. So that's what we'll do. That will be the news from this point forward. Every other week for the summer until we get back to the fall, then it's back to the regular schedule. I'm also toying, though, with the idea of doing a couple of specials that cover aspects of Lyndhurst history, business spotlights, things that are very important, because we always try to let everybody know how important it is to support your local businesses. You see, that's what community is all about. It's about getting to know your neighbors, helping your neighbors when they need help, and they should be there to help you, too. Looking out for your elderly neighbors, especially in the heat. When it gets hot this summer, they shouldn't be coming out in the heat and humidity to go to the store. If you're going to go running to ShopRite or Stop and Shop for something, and if you have an elderly neighbor or several elderly neighbors, ask them, is there anything I can get you from the store? Folks, we're all going to be elderly one day if we're blessed to live that long. And wouldn't it be very nice to know that people would do that for us? Now, and that's what I love about this town, because everybody comes through for one another. This is a town where people are there for one another. If you're sick, we're there for you. If you've lost a loved one, we're all there for you. If you're going through hard times, we're there for you. And that brings me to the final, but a very important thing I want to talk about today, because it's something that I have just signed up for. And this is so Lyndhurst, in the sense where, years ago, now let's say when I was a kid, if somebody had a family member pass away, you know what would generally happen? Everybody, all friends and family, started cooking for that family. And I remember my mother doing that all the time. She would make meatballs. She would make baked ziti. But she would also love to make lasagna. And because lasagna is filling, it goes a long way. And who doesn't like good Italian lasagna? So there's an organization that has spread across the country. I've just joined it, and it's called Lasagna Love. And you can join it too. I'm going to give you more information about it. So basically, this was begun by a mother. Her name was Rhiannon Men, M-E-N-N. And she's a mother, as I said. She's a chef and an adventurer. Now, in 2020, when the COVID-related struggles were happening for families in her community, and she felt helpless herself, she founded Lasagna Love. And it's a platform that connects neighbors for home-cooked meal delivery. Now, Lasagna Love has transformed into an international movement of kindness, impacting thousands of volunteers and recipient families each week. Now, the way it works, if you go to, and I'm going to leave this in the description box, lasagnalove.org. Go there, and you can sign up as a volunteer. Now, you could volunteer to cook a lasagna for a family in need, and there are various needs. There may be financial needs. There may be spiritual and emotional needs. There could be physical and health needs. Whatever it is, they will connect you with a family in your area, and you could decide how many miles you're willing to travel. You could also choose how many families you're willing to help and how often you do this. You can do that all just by signing up as a volunteer at the lasagnalove.org website. As I said, I've already signed up. I just did it this week. I've yet to get an order come in, but I'm looking forward to doing it. I love to cook. Most of you already know I love to cook a specific marinara recipe that I serve through the American Legion. So now this gives me another outlet to use that marinara for lasagnas for people in need. And as I said, growing up, that was, food always unites people. And this is a comfort food, as a matter of fact. It always brings people together. And what this organization has found is that 97% of the people who have been cooked for, people who have been given a lasagna from someone else, they're so touched by this that they decide that they want to pay it forward, that they'll do something good for their neighbors or for somebody else, as the old expression goes, paying something forward. Somebody gives you a blessing or does you a nice turn. You then turn around and do the next thing, the same thing for the next person. And I just thought this was great because, as I say, growing up in Lyndhurst, food was always predominant. Anytime somebody was sick or somebody passed away, everybody started cooking. Now, today, I know that rather than cooking, some people still do it, but most people order, from a catering facility. They'll send a few trays over to somebody's home. But there's something about cooking something yourself at home, because you're infusing it with love. You are making that out of the love you have for the care and concern of a fellow human being or human beings or a family. And I just think this is a great idea. And I know that in this town, there are tons of people who would sign up for this. And again, you could do it as little or as often as you want. You can go as nearby or as far as you want. It is up to you. So check out lasagnalove.org, where you could sign up as a volunteer, as I did, and you can start making lasagna for people who are in need. And it's a wonderful experience. I don't have to tell you that. Everybody knows that. Giving is such a wonderful blessing to be able to do so. All right, now that's about it for this week. As I say, we're here at the summertime. It's time to go on vacation and barbecue and stay cool, as I plan to do. And I'm also working on some new things for the coming fall for Lyndhurst Community News, enhancements, things that will make it, I think, better. I'm the only person here who does this, so I have to rely upon my free time as well as my limited expertise. I have a soundboard here, I have software, and I had to have somebody teach me how to use it. Not so much the soundboard, but the software. And I think most older people like us can relate to that. So I am working on some great things and bringing you more enhanced content next year, into the next fall, rather. But in the meantime, remember, a community is not just its roads, its homes, and its buildings. A community is its people. And just as I always say and said earlier here, look out for one another, get to know your neighbors, help the elderly, support local businesses to the best of your ability. If you see litter, pick it up and throw it away. Look around, make sure everything's clean. If you keep your house clean, your neighbors will keep their homes clean. And Lyndhurst is a very well-kept town. You drive around, everybody's house is well-kept, very well manicured. It really is a beautiful, safe community. We always want to thank all of our first responders. We have volunteer firemen in this town, volunteer EMTs, as well as daytime paid EMTs. They all do a phenomenal job. We always want to thank them for that. And the fire department always reminds me to remind you to make sure that you check the batteries on your smoke alarms and CO2 detectors because they save lives. So make sure you do that. And just enjoy the summertime. Enjoy the 4th of July, the celebration of our independence. And I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful summer. But I'll be speaking to you. I'll be back next week. And then, as I say, we'll start the new schedule off in July, where we'll be meeting every other week until the summer is over. Until then, this is Brian Haggerty reminding you to build community to the best you can, to get to know everybody and to be the best that you can, to be the neighbor you want to have to your neighbors. God bless you all, and God bless Lyndhurst. Take care, folks.